presentations. Are we recording?
Now
Yes.
Okay, sige. So, I'm very excited to see your presentation. I hope you were able to spend some time to look at the rubric so that the presentation is aligned with the rubric. Do you remember how much time you were given for this presentation?
8 to 10 minutes.
Yes. So, I hope that the group will endeavor to finish the presentation within the designated time. After the presentation, we will stop the time and then we will proceed to the oral defense questions where each of you will be fielding one specific question regarding your multimedia presentation. Okay? So if you notice here, there is a fifth row that talks about how well each of your answers speak to your group output. Okay? All right. Was anyone raising their hand?
No, that's fine. You clarified it.
Oh, all right. So, if you have your own timer, I highly encourage that, but I will be running the time as you do your presentation. Feel free to start whenever you're ready. As soon as your first speaker begins talking, I will start the time. All right? All the best to your group, and good luck.
In Feb 2007, Britney Spears shaved her head, and the world watched with mockery. Tabloids declared her a train wreck, while media outlets framed her public meltdown as proof that she was unstable and unfit to control her own life. When she was placed under restrictive conservation governed by her father, the public accepted it as tough love, a narrative that suggested her autonomy was something she had to earn. This wasn't just a story about Britney Spears. It was a reflection of a deeper belief, cultural belief, that women, especially those who defy social expectations, must be controlled, corrected, and contained.
This is because media sensationalism isn't just for show. It reflects a deeper issue on how women are often diminished and reduced to their appearances and behavior. Britney Spears' story highlights the broader impact of media on societal perceptions of women, often with damaging consequences. And this brings us to our question on how does media representation of women influence societal perceptions of gender roles, and what impact does this have on gender equality?
So, the disparity here is noticeable. Only 34% of speaking roles in media are female, while just 21% of the top grossing movies are female. So, the limited visibility, and this restricts women's opportunities for women, but also it perpetuates a negatively skewed narrative where male is mostly dominating film and media. So, in the next slide, we'll be talking about the lenses. So, here are the lenses that we have selected for this presentation, in which we are going to be talking into the historical, ethical, and economic implications on how women are represented in media. So, by selecting historical, we can use the progressive side of how roles of women that were portrayed by media has changed over time in these past few years, decades, days, and so on and so forth. So, while the ethical and economic side of the matter will explore how women are treated and what roles they play within the media.
And now let's begin with how the 1950s saw women. In the 1950s, media played a significant role in shaping these stereotypes. Television shows and adverts, as seen here, portrayed women as stereotypical housewives, in which their primary role was to support their husbands or families. These portrayals downplayed female ambition and reinforced the idea that men held authority, in which, as society evolved, these stereotypes are still being seen today, in which media continue to rely on the use of these stereotypes that portrayed women as emotional yet irrelevant characters in both professional and media spaces.
The economic consequences of gender-biased media portrays are substantial. According to the FPU Knowledge and Quality Statistics, women make up 27% of top managing positions, while men hold 73%. This imbalance reflects a persistent narrative that men are more suited for leadership roles. When media consistently portrays women in emotionally driven roles, it reinforces the belief that they are less capable of holding positions of power. This media-driven bias limits career growth opportunities for women, contributing to wage gaps and professional inequities. From fashion campaigns to blockbuster films, media objectifies women, reducing them to their appearance rather than their own talents. This leads to a cultural norm where women are more valued for their beauty rather than their abilities, in which these norms reinforce damaging stereotypes that brings the belief that a woman's value lies in her physicality rather than accomplishments.
So, the consequences of this biased representation extends beyond 80%. Of women say that these harmful portrayals of them in media makes them feel somewhat insecure. Alarmingly, 42% of the beauty standards created by media deeply impacted self-image, while also it fostered a culture of body dissatisfaction from a young age. So, the portrayal of unattainable beauty creates unusing mental health challenges for women and girls and online from years beyond and from now.
So we are going to discuss the ethical standpoints on media, in which media has a responsibility to fulfill, to represent all individuals, and yet media portrayals raise concerns about the objectification of women that reinforce unrealistic beauty standards, which negatively impact today's youth. As stated before, 42% of all girls that are in 3rd grade state that they want to be thinner as a result of how media portrays women. Additionally, these portrayals influence legislation and workplace norms, often putting women at a disadvantage. So, and here we have a statistic to show how women are often sexualized within media, in which we can see here that women have a 5 times more likely chance of being sexualized over men, which just shows how media likes to objectify women for the male gaze. So here are possible solutions in which we want to highlight. Our first solution is to increase women representation in media. We have discovered that if we put women in empowering roles, such as being in charge of directing, screenwriting, or creating films, they are more likely to hire other women to act in these roles, in which that will lead to more representation within media, within those kinds of roles. And as you can see here, research is we have countless citations have conducted research, and they found out that if we were to follow this plan, women are more likely to have more prominent roles in that of the STEM or other leadership roles. So, and this helps reduce the stereotype that women just only take place in domestic environments. And then here's our second solution.
So, enforcing stronger regulations on media content. So, countries like Sweden have already adopted the gender equality rating system for films, for example, such as the Bechdel test. This test promotes the fair representation of women in media. However, the regulatory efforts may face opposition from other content creators, big names, or even artists themselves, who may argue that these new implementations are restrictions of their own artistic freedom, and it's not entirely enough to show the proper representation of women portrayed by media and so on and so forth.
And then our third solution is to, of course, empower women within those fields, in which we believe that if we put them in these roles and that make huge decisions, it would show that they are capable of empowerment, or they are capable of just being a domestic housewife. If we, as we see through countless new films or media, we have seen a newfound surge of prominent female roles, in which they, instead of dedicating men or male characters to play as the main protagonists of the story, females are now taking that spot and are becoming more prominent, in which they become a good representation of what it means to empower women in film and media. So,
adding on to this point, enhancing women's representation in media requires increasing their presence, am I right? So, in decision-making rules, supporting female filmmakers and media entrepreneurs fosters authentic storytelling. While more female journalists and commentators help challenge gender stereotypes and implementing stronger protections against harassments and discrimination ensures women can participate safely. So, by collaborating with advocacy groups and establishing media standards that promote diversity, this solution can address industry resistance while encouraging meaningful change for women to be able to work more and be more open about themselves through media.
So here's our collective understanding, and we have come to understand that media representation plays a powerful role in shaping societal views on gender. By reinforcing these stereotypes and prioritizing appearance over ability, media continues to fuel gender inequality. However, by increasing female representation and establishing stricter contact law regulations, we can challenge these harmful narratives and promote greater gender equality.
Through these steps, we can foster a media landscape, said it all, encouraging a more equitable society for future generations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Alright, thank you for sharing your findings with us. Your running time is very well within the time limit. Your running time is 9 minutes and 54.
Just
You have